Bruh, I told you so. You probably already saw the thumbnail. That's why you clicked on this, or you just follow the podcast religiously, which I appreciate. That means a lot. So, 5 steps, five, to running a successful server. If you have been following the podcast, you would have seen the Nap is Dumb video. Well, this is an elaboration on why Nap is dumb. So let's dive into it. But before we do, I want to send a shout out to BJ Lebestre. Thank you for the super thanks, my friend. I appreciate that. That goes a long way. Helps to buy equipment and stuff for the channel. Keeps me doing this. Uh, Appreciate it. And by the way, guys, that is a thing. If you didn't know, also hype videos. That's a thing too. It helps drive traffic to us little bitty fellas out there trying to, make content for folks and help them out. So let's dive into this. This is basically a culture shock for probably 90% of the folks that are already playing this game. So let's see what I'm talking about here. That's right. That would be the culture shock, my friend. That is no nap. I said that in the other video on the podcast. Nap is dumb. You don't need it. What does it stand for? It stands for non aggression pact. What does that mean? Okay, that means the server, for whatever reason, has chose a certain group of alliances that cannot be looted or attacked by their own server. Why would you have that pact? Hmm? Like, how are you picking and choosing? What criteria are you using? What metric are you using to say, dude, you're not a NAP? Is it by the alliance power? Or is it by their level of participation? Let's say in state versus state, or versus, or I don't know. That's up to the server to decide that. Now, what I will tell you, the reason why I say no nap is because, contrary to what you think, your server is not an endless pot of gold of resources. It's just not. Those little fellas you're out there looting all the damn time, they're going to go away. They're just going to be a whole lot more sparse. And I'm getting a ton of comments in both the Discord and the YouTube videos that say, bro, it happened. Yeah, like our server's dead now. Like everybody quit. We only have like 4 alliances that even participate. Now, granted, there's probably still, 4 more alliances that just aren't doing anything, but they're looting the shit out of those guys too. Um, so let's just stick with number one for a second. Let that sink in, and we'll move into number two. This could be a long video, but it is a podcast style video, so bear with me here, and we'll uncover the list of 5 items that I have, and we'll talk about them each. And feel free, to reference, a portion of the video where you have a question, and I will respond. I try to respond to everything, or it gets a like or a heart, or all three. And so just know that it's open for discussion. Join the Discord if you want to talk about it in more detail. It's a little easier there. We can share screenshots and things versus the YouTube comments where we can't. So let's move on to number two. And here we go. Number two, let the top 3 alliances run the server. Why would you do that? Why would you let those top 3 run the server? Well, because you've already established that they have more power. So why wouldn't you want to let them run the server? They've already said, hey, dude, we busted your ass, right after Capital or during Capital, whatever the case may be. That's one fair way to say, okay, top 3, you guys run it. Now, there's a little caveat in there that says fewer people, faster decisions. What do I mean by that? Let's say you have a NAP 10. 2 things wrong with that. One, there is 10 plus people in your leadership chat now that are making decisions for the server. And if you're like most servers, you got an R5 and 1 or 2 R4s. So you could say that's upwards of 30 people, in an alliance leader, or I'm sorry, a server leadership chat. Why do 30 plus people need to make a decision that should have happened in 12 minutes or 12 hours and now it's taken 2 weeks? You see what I'm saying? Too many chefs in the kitchen. I said that in the other video. Go watch it if you haven't. Why is that a bad thing? Well, now you have a difference of opinion between very, very, very different cultures and mindsets, right? That's not how you run a server. So just to backtrack a little bit, we've got no nap. Why would we have no nap? We don't need to loot our server to death. It does have a place, the looting and all of that, and we will get to that in just a few. But it's not necessary long term. Do it up front, get it over with, put in no nap. Just call it don't loot the server. It's not a fucking non-aggression pact at that point. It's just don't loot the server. Okay, we're not an endless pot of gold, people. Two, back to step two, let the top three alliances run the server. My advice on that is to have one R5 and one R4 from each of the top three alliances. Now you're at 15 folks that are making decisions. It's an odd number, so that odd number means less likely to have a divide in the vote. Another thing I've seen is like, okay, presidents will make the decision on, if there's a tie, the president gets the call. Well, the president's already an R4 or an R5 of an alliance anyway. So they already had a vote. So now they're voting twice. Dude, just keep it odd numbers, keep it small. Things go way faster, I promise you. Now, you're probably like, hey man, are you being a hypocrite on this? In this game, particularly, yes, I am. I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite because I don't involve myself in that shit. If the server wants to have a nap 55 or 1, I don't give a shit. I'm just there to play, having a little bit of fun. But what I do hate to see is when they start complaining about my server dying, which I've had several folks in the comments, several folks in the Discord talking about that just today and a few days ago. In fact, that's where there's a problem. You can start off on the right foot a whole lot better, or you can kind of switch course now and make things a lot better for your server. I don't think the nap thing, 10 alliances and leadership is just kind of dumb. Just don't loot your server. All right, I digressed. Let's move on to the next one and see what we have. All right. So this says no looting inside the entire server. I just touched on that, right? So no looting inside the entire server. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust cameras and whatnot. Except for on specified days, aka a purge day. But time it right. If you're going to have a purge day to where, you got folks with dead troops and you can get those versus points from retraining those troops, right before EB. So you got your troops back, you got versus points for holistic growth. You see where I'm going with that? To me, that makes sense, and that's a simple one to kind of plan out because you already know which days are coming up in versus. Now, this one goes back to number 2 and number 1. You want to maintain your members in the server because let's say on month 1 of your server, you've got folks running around that are 20 million power overall. I'm not talking about hero power. 20 million power overall. By the time you get to season 2, they could be a lot stronger if you let them have their damn resources. You could too. I get it. So I have a solution for that. One is this purge day. I was talking to one of the moderators this morning in the Discord, and they do 2 purge days a week. That does wonders. If you don't want to participate in the purge day, just bubble. You can bubble, and they can't touch you. You're it's just like enemy buster. They can't touch you if you're in a bubble. 2, that lets you get out a little bit of that aggression, and it fixes some of the boredom that happens in between those events where you get to fight other folks. So it's healthy, but have it organized, right? It's not just a free for all. Oh, it's nap 10, 11 through 20. Let's just go beat the shit out of them. That's not right. It doesn't help the server. Like I said early on, those folks might be weak. But later on, you never know. They might be stronger than you, and you've unlooted the shit out of them. Now they're coming to whoop your ass. Unlikely, I get it, but you get my point. So try to structure your server in a way that you don't have to loot, alliances, for example, 11 through 20 every damn day, or they're living in a bubble and can never really get ahead. I mean, bubbles aren't that cheap to buy, especially if you're in an inactive alliance. Because like if you're like me, I'm buying the bubbles with my alliance credits. I don't spend diamonds on those things. Same thing with random teleports, different topic, but those are your best friend. So that's topic 3. Let's see what topic 4 has for us here. Let's see old topic 4. Man, I got to get used to switching screens. Bear with me, people. Okay. So no looting in the server. We've established that. No nap. Let the 3 alliances run it. So now we're to 4. Make or acquire your own farm accounts. The reason why I worded it that way is, one, if you're still in season 1, you're going to be able to make 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts, whatever you want. Make those accounts. Get them set up. Get them to a level to where it makes sense for you. That way you can loot your own farms, daily, weekly, whatever you want. And another thing too, and this kind of goes back to the previous steps, is if you're gonna try to rush your HQ, you're gonna need the resources, right? So my recommendation is, 1, send out your gatherers at night while you're sleeping, or 2, acquire these farms or make the farms. Let's say you're already in season 2. You're not going to be able to make a farm. The server is full. It's just not going to let you create a new account in there. But you've got people that quit daily throughout the server. Talk to them. See if they'll let you farm their stuff or get their account. I mean, it's not like you're sharing an account at that point. They're just giving it away because it's just going to die in the server. I don't think the game's going to have any problems with that because you're not sharing an account. And it specifically says no account sharing. That means 5 people, logging in and playing that account throughout the day, which is what you see a lot of whales do in games like this. So there might be 5 people sharing the account. They each are buying in that account. Next thing you know, that account's a monstrosity. So it's not like always just one person that's spending the money in the account. It is sometimes several. That's what the game is against, because one person might have bought something on the account that the other person doesn't agree with, and then they try to get a refund, and now the devs are losing money. So they don't like that shit. Anyway, make yourself a farm or 5. I don't care how many. I know a lot of people that don't want to deal with that, myself included. I have no farms. I just don't rush my HQ. So I have tons of resources sitting in my warehouse that I can use at any point in time. And once you hit HQ 27, there's really no reason to rush, because even if you did rush to HQ 32 and HQ 30 and lab 30, dude, you're nowhere freaking close to T10s without pulling out the Visa power. You're gonna need the Visa power to rush that. Just let you know that ahead of time. The amount of badges is like 1.4 million or something that you would need. Yeah, HQ 27's fine. Rock that thing out for a little bit. Save up in your warehouse. Then you can rush to 30 just out of the warehouse alone. There's different ways to play this game. I get it, but burning your server down is not one of them. So what does all this mean? This is a long-term strategy for a healthy server. If you continue to just bang on the walls of every member in your server that is free to play or just not in nap, you're gonna start having a dead server. One, you're losing the respect of those folks. And why is that respect important? Okay, they are just as capable of bubbling to stop you from hitting them and taking their resources as they are teleporting around the capital and bubbling up there. So they can take up space. And that is helping in State Ruler. I'm sorry, that's helping. You could do the same thing with your 5 farms. put them around the capital, bubble them up. No. Are you getting points in that? Can you prove that you helped? The only way you can is if you get a screenshot that you were there. Hey, man, I was there. I helped. That's all you need to expect of them. Or they're going to want to fight. Most of us want to fight. It's a damn war game. We do want to fight. So if they want to fight, let's face it, they're gonna basically lose everything that they go up against because 9 times out of 10 we're paired with stronger servers. So let them lose. Let them go have their fun. They helped. They served a purpose and they participated. That's really all that's required. But if you burn the shit out of them, now they're not even there to be cannon fodder for the capital clash. So you gotta manage your server a little bit. And I go back to the video, one of the first podcasts that we did that says, why do alliance recognition? Why rush that first? It's a controversial thing. I get both sides of it. So the biggest answer is, oh, that is a long game play. You definitely do it first. It's better for you in the long run. Okay, I agree with that. Why wouldn't managing your server this way be better for you in the long run? Better for the server, better for versus points. Like think about it. It's no different. That mentality, that strategy of investing now to be better later with alliance recognition. This is the same thing. Same thing. You're investing now to be better later. And with more people that have respect for the leadership in the alliance, in the server, well, the alliance too, the better. You're getting more activity out of the entire server because you quit looting the piss out of everybody in it that is not in NAP. A second thing, it's just a side effect of what happens for not looting the entire server, is as those accounts grow, they can join those alliances that are in the top or upper tiers. Why would you let them in? Well, every alliance has, that's at least in NAP, has some sort of threshold. Like, dude, we can't let you in. Our threshold's 50 million power, and you're only 49.9, or you're only 20 million. Shit like that. So they're gonna grow. They're gonna hit your threshold, and they're gonna be able to get into your alliance. And I will guarantee you, your alliance probably has, and I shit you not, if you look through it right now, you probably have 10 members that are barely active. It doesn't show them inactive. They just log on for maybe 30 minutes a day, run a boomer, and then they're off. But did they help? Nah. Those couple of boomers are great and all, but it doesn't go very far in the long run, right? That investment in the server. So I would rather have a weaker, lower powered player that's active as hell, talking in chat, running the boomers like they should, doing what's necessary to help the alliance and the server out. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if that doesn't. Now, on to number 5. Let's see what number 5 be like. Make the camera smaller, pull it out. All right. More rules equals more necessary management and more opportunities for drama. Dude, I don't think you can argue that shit. Here was a scenario put in front of us today. They have NAP 10 in that server, but they can't hit anybody that has, I think he said 50K walls. I don't know what that means, man. I haven't seen walls being put in thousands in a long time. But like, how do you police that? How do you manage it? Okay, so they went ahead and created a channel in a Discord that allows them to post screenshots. And, I'm visualizing this. I'm the guy with the tiny wall, or they brought me down past 50K or whatever. And, or maybe I'm sitting at like 49.5. I'm really close. I'm visualizing these screenshots coming in, and then now all of a sudden, the leaders of the server are having to go say, hey, look, John Smith, you fucked up. And now, you're in trouble. Your punishment is you've got to remove all your tanks and let them get their resources back because he was only 49.5 and not 5 or 50K. why do you want that extra work, dude? Like, make this easy. People are logging in to have fun, including yourself. We're also logging in to win. But like the argument with alliance recognition, you got to invest in the later portion of the game. So to sort of put into a nutshell, steps 1 through 5. Season 1, early on, bro, go beat the shit out of each other. Have some fun. Establish who the bigger alliances are. Merge some alliances. For fuck's sake. There's no point in sitting out in left field with a city 1, whenever you're an active player. Show that you're active, get into a better alliance. The more active the alliance, the more free shit you get from the boomers and anybody that's purchasing anything for, alliance gifts. So that's a no-brainer in my opinion. And again, back to the rules. The more rules you got, the more opportunities you have for drama. So now you got people in world chat being like, man, they hit me, they hit my node, blah, 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 blah. Sure, man, I get no nodes. That's server wide, right? In most of these servers, like don't hit the nodes. But you got that one shithead that runs out there and he's like, well, they're not in NAP, so I'm gonna go hit their nodes too. And then you'll look at this guy's account, and he's got like 3 million kills. But he never shows up for EB. He's always bubbled, and he bubbles in the area around the capital during Capital Clash. Wow, how did he get 3 million kills? Well, that's because he's out clapping nodes and farming everybody. So now he's kind of ruining the metric of the kill points. So for me, that's a good indication that somebody's out there fighting. But if you're just looting all the damn time, yeah, you're getting kill points from that. But are you really like helping? Are you helping? You're not helping. There's nobody that can argue that. I wish I had one of those cardboard signs that said "Prove me wrong" right here, right now, and see what you guys say in the damn comments over that one. And I'm not doing this for clickbait, man. I am doing this more for a conversation piece for you guys to not only have with me in the comments or the Discord, but also to have with your own server. Think about it. Alliance recognition, investment in the future. Stop nap. Make it server wide, no looting. At a certain point, I get it. There's caveats. All right. But that's a good conversation to have with the leadership. Anyway, that's all I got. Check that description. I got some links in there that are going to help you save some money. And there's links in there for the Discord. And there's a link to the podcast playlist as well. You guys check it out. We will catch you on the next one.